for pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation. Since 1975, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the remodeling continues at the North Chapel in Sylacauga. It will be state-of-the-art once it's completed. And, Curtis & Son Funeral Home has been a name and providing services for this community for a long, long time. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation. Since the mid-70s, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. 2 minutes before the hour in obituary news this morning, memorial service for Donna Sue Browning of Sylacauga. That service will be Saturday morning at 11 a.m. from Curtis & Son North. I'll be officiating that service. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Donna Sue Browning of Sylacauga died February the 18th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel directing. Graveside service for Evadine Headley Jones, age 94 of Sylacauga, is this morning at 11 o'clock from Odina Baptist Church Cemetery with L.C. McMurphy and John Vogel officiating. Mrs. Jones died February the 20th in Birmingham. Visitation prior to the service 10 until 11 o'clock at the funeral home. Memorial messages can be extended to the family at raddysmith.com. Raddy Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Graveside service for Billy Rudolph Roberts, age 92 of Childersburg, is Saturday at 2 from Bethlehem Cemetery in Munford, with Brother Mike Kaiser officiating. Mr. Roberts died February the 20th at St. Vincent's East Hospital in Birmingham. He was a member of the Broadway Church of Christ in Sylacauga. Visitation Saturday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the funeral home. Mr. Roberts completed 2 tours of duty in the military and the U.S. Navy during World War II. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddysmith.com. Raddy Smith Funeral Home directing. Vesta Christine Clowers, age 92, died February the 20th. Funeral service Saturday at 1 p.m. from Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family receiving friends Saturday prior to the service, noon until 1 p.m. Mrs. Clowers was a native of Talladega and a member of the Trinity United Methodist Church. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home directing. Joe Clyde Stewart, age 75 of Munford, died at St. Vincent's Hospital in Birmingham February the 19th. The family receiving friends at Ursery Funeral Home today from 11:30 till 12:30. Graveside service will follow at 1 in the Pine Hill Memorial Park in Talladega with John Ross officiating. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home Talladega directing. Mr. Stewart was a member of the Bellevue Hills Church of Christ in Oxford. Funeral service for Miss Deborah Hutchison Crow, age 66 of Alexander City, is this morning at 11 in the chapel of Raddy Funeral Home with Pastor Stacy Tuttle officiating. Burial in the Old Harmony Cemetery in New Site. Miss Crow died February the 20th at Grandview Medical Center. She was a member of the New Site United Methodist Church. Online condolences at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home directing. Miss Marty's O'Neill died February the 13th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation is today from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. at Raddy Smith Funeral Home. Funeral service on Saturday at 1 o'clock from Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church in Harpersville. Burial in the Coosa Valley Church Cemetery in Vincent. The body will lie in state at the church 2 hours prior to the service. Donations and flowers may be sent to the funeral home, Raddy Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddysmith.com. Raddy Smith Funeral Home directing. Agnes Bazemore, age 87 of Sylacauga, died Wednesday at Williamson Medical Center in Franklin, Tennessee. Ms. Bazemore, a longtime employee of the Avondale Mills Credit Union and also administrative assistant. Funeral service at 11 o'clock Saturday morning at the chapel of Raddy Smith Funeral Home with the Reverend Rick Watt officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. The Reverend Rick Watt will officiate the service. The body will lie in state at 1 hour prior to the service. Visitation this evening from 6 until 8 o'clock at the funeral home. In lieu of flowers, Mrs. Bazemore family has requested memorials be made to a charity of one's choice. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Celebration of life for James Curtis Beck, age 78, is 12:30 Saturday at Greater Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church with interment in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Celebration of life for Stanford O'Neill Cameron, age 50, is 11 o'clock Saturday at Bellevue Missionary Baptist Church with interment in the Pine Hill Memorial Park in Talladega. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. In lieu of flowers, you may make donations to the Bellevue Missionary Baptist Church. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Funeral service for Mr. Robert Bobby Sparks, age 88, is Saturday. And that service will be at 2 o'clock from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga. The Reverend Kenneth R. Walker officiating. Burial in the Sylacauga Cemetery. Visitation today, 1 until 8 o'clock at the funeral home. Mr. Sparks passed away February the 19th at his residence. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. That's communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Miss Annie Lois Swain, age 69, is Saturday at 1 p.m. from Pleasant Valley CME Church. That's in Childersburg. Bishop Willie E. Frazier officiating. Burial in the Fuller Memorial Gardens in Childersburg. Visitation today, 1 until 8 at the funeral home. Ms. Swain died February 13th at Grandview Medical Center. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Mr. William Jones, age 75, is Saturday at 11 a.m. from Armours Memorial Chapel in Alexander City. Burial to follow in the Armours Memorial Garden. Visitation today, 1 until 7 o'clock at the funeral home. Armours Memorial Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Funeral service for Mr. Terry R. Jones, age 51, of Alexander City, is Saturday at 2 p.m. from Great Bethel Baptist Church. Burial in the Elam No. 1 MBC Cemetery in Alexander City. Visitation today, 1 until 7 at the funeral home. And Armours Memorial Chapel will host that service. Visitation is Saturday from 10 a.m. until service time. Armours Memorial Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Catherine Wilkerson, age 85, of Childersburg, died on Thursday at her residence in Childersburg. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. These obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.